SpaceSaintBoy Productions.
We're gonna react to the Xbox shit. Project Helix is the biggest Xbox change ever, man. Xbox is switching to basically being a fucking at-home PC, which is weird to me. A console that's gonna be able to play Steam games. Pretty much it's gonna be like your own version of if a PC was a at-home game. I'm saying a game console. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means fucking PlayStation's dead. I don't think it's gonna beat. I really don't think it's gonna. It depends on the price, because that's what it's all gonna come down to. Because if someone could just pick a game that's gonna have Steam games on it, everyone's gonna go with that option. There's not gonna be a person that's gonna be like, no, I'm not going with this because for whatever, because it's Xbox. At the end of the day, people go for the console they like, either because they like the exclusive more, or it's to play with friends. And if they have access to Steam games, they're going to be able to play with PC players on games that you cannot access on a PlayStation. In my mind, that's a huge fucking selling point. That's huge. And in my opinion, I think this shit's going to flop. But I don't want to talk shit on it yet. Let's just watch this video. This is by IGN. IGN has interesting opinions about video games, but this seems to be more of a mini documentary. So let's just see. Project Helix is going to be the biggest the biggest challenge ever. So let's watch this video, see what this shit's all about.
I'm announcing the Xbox, the future of console gaming.
When Asha Sharma was appointed as the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming last month, she entered the Xbox stage with a bold statement. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. Just weeks later, that commitment has kicked off with the official confirmation that a new Xbox is in development. Project Helix is a next-generation console that can play your Xbox and PC games. The rumours were all true then. Such a feat isn't as simple as it sounds though, and this hybrid machine has surely presented Xbox's engineering team with an Everest-grade challenge. Because when you consider the way today's technology works, it seems more likely that Helix is a PC that plays Xbox games, not the other way around. And without an incredibly careful...
I feel like that's better, no? A PC that plays Xbox games and not the other way around? Would I prefer an Xbox that plays PC games? I mean... yeah, no, I think a PC that plays Xbox games is going to be better, right? Overall.
Approach, Helix could become another addition to the confusing "this is an Xbox" mess, rather than a brave new console generation. Xbox has created a fascinating challenge for itself. Project Helix has to be two devices in one box. A video game console and a PC are, despite their similarities, two distinct things, and Helix needs to be both using just a single hardware setup. And that's where the difficulties start. If Helix is to play PC games without any caveats, if this Xbox is to play any and all games available on Steam, Epic Games Store, Ubisoft Connect, GOG, and any other service, rather than select games ring-fenced by the Microsoft Store, then the hardware will need to be designed with a PC-first mindset. It will need to be capable of running games designed for the PC's open, less precision-optimized environment at next-gen quality, a situation that will presumably dictate the machine's specifications. Anyone who has built a PC to run Cyberpunk 2077 at 4K 60, or perhaps in preparation for the upcoming Crimson Desert, will know that the cost of such hardware is astronomical, even more so now in the age of the AI-enforced RAM apocalypse.
This is exactly what I was thinking. The main issue with this is going to be the price, right? Like if this shit's going to be over $2,000, nobody's going to buy this. I mean, there's a chance, people are going to buy it. I'm not saying nobody's going to buy it, but is it going to have a huge margin of profit? I don't know. It's like, again, to build your own PC with the best parts and to be able to run your graphics the way you want, it's so expensive, and it's getting more expensive. So if they're going to make something that's going to be this, what they're promising to be like a combination of Xbox and PC, it's going to cost so much money. It's going to cost so much money. And they're using the name Project Helix. Not even going with like an Xbox. To me, this is like a brand. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a line of the Xbox, but is it like really going to be viewed as an Xbox? I don't know.
Try to build a PC comparable to a console on a console-ish budget, will know that the results are typically less than inspiring. The price of Helix, then, is already a rapidly flashing red light. Plus, if Helix can play Steam games, then the machine provides no guaranteed game revenue flow back to Microsoft, and that will certainly affect Xbox's pricing strategy. The fact that Project Helix even exists in the first place suggests that Microsoft has solved the puzzle of engineering a cohesive set of hardware components that can act as both PC and console architecture, even if the cost of that flexibility means a device possibly, or even likely, priced in excess of $1,000. Helix can cater to the needs of games coded for different devices, presumably in a fashion more advanced than just running a console emulator on PC. But regardless of whether that was an easy feat to achieve or not, the true challenge Helix faces is software. Because, in many ways, it's software that makes a machine a console, not the components within it. To be clear, when I say software, I mean operating systems, not games. Helix will require an OS that can seamlessly switch between its console and PC environments. Sort of like a modern day version of how the launch era PlayStation 3 could flip into PS2 mode. I suspect that Helix will be a little more sophisticated than having two walled off environments that it needs to hop between, but from the perspective of the user, there really can't be any difference between each side of the experience. Your Helix's library needs to be your entire game library across console and PC, something that GOG's Galaxy PC client already proves can be done. Booting games needs to feel identical across both sides of the platform, as does the overlay interface. It needs to be completely unified. It needs to be completely Xbox. In other words, Microsoft needs to take this stuff much more seriously than it did with the ROG Xbox Ally handhelds. While sort of marketed as handheld Xboxes, the Ally and Ally X are actually portable gaming PCs. As such, they operate like PCs, not consoles. They run Windows 11 and suffer from all the horrible little issues that anything running Windows 11 suffers. Updates, product offers, and security systems like Windows Hello all push their way up through the Xbox full screen experience, which is supposed to make the Ally feel like a console, but actually often proves an ill-fitting skin stretched over Windows 11. This absolutely can't be a thing on Helix. It can't even be a thing on half of Helix. In an ideal world, Helix would be governed by a new dedicated Xbox operating system.
Damn, I don't like the way they're talking about it is like it's gonna be such a hard task to do. What up, Wavy Mystical? I see you in chat, brother. You're good, man. No rush, bro. I was late my damn self. I was supposed to be here at 3:30. I wasn't. He said also drama. Yeah, I'm gonna be mixing it up on Mondays. I'm calling this Mega Mondays, man. So what we're gonna be doing from now on, we're gonna be addressing trending topics before we hop into the main game, which is usually gonna be like a AAA studio game on Mondays. So today we're gonna be playing Resident Evil, obviously. But beforehand, we're going to be having tea time, and then we're going to, just watch some trending topics. I got 3 videos for you guys today, and they're all different topics. This one is Project Helix. It's basically Xbox's new console that's coming out, and they're basically going to be trying to make a combination of an Xbox and a PC. And in my opinion, this could be really good or really bad. I don't know how it's going to go. It seems like a ridiculous task to do. I mean, what they're trying to do right here is basically get the library of a PC player and put it at a home console, as like a PlayStation or something that you would just, I don't know, buy one of your family members, I don't think it's gonna work out, to be honest, because it's gonna be so damn expensive. Nobody's gonna drop $2,000 to get another console. You know what I'm saying? You could just get a P5 for 500. I don't think nobody's gonna be dropping $2,000 for just a console. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna be expensive, bro. It's gonna be expensive. Baby Mystical said they're cooked because Xbox is a family, everyday consumer brand, and $1,200 is the price of. Let's see what he says. Of rent. Yeah, exactly my point. That's exactly my point. This is why I don't think this shit's gonna cook at all. If anything, I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna release this and they're gonna not. I don't think they're gonna lose money, but they're not gonna hit the goal that they wanted. It's a shame, but there's just no way this shit's gonna work out. I have my doubts.
System that interfaces with both PC games and storefronts and traditional Xbox games and apps. It ideally needs to be akin to Valve's Steam OS, the system that runs the Steam Deck and the forthcoming Steam Machine, in more ways than one. SteamOS uses a compatibility layer called Proton to effectively translate PC games designed for Windows and make them work on a Linux-based machine. This is what makes using a Steam Deck feel so complete and console-like, and why, at least in my opinion, it's a better option than the Ally's Xbox layered over Windows 11 approach. The ultimate version of Helix doesn't run Windows at all.
This is what I'm saying. Even like they're talking about the handheld Xbox console. It's like that didn't work out. I feel like when it comes to handhelds, it's a little bit different. The only ones to really succeed at handhelds were, I mean, Sony succeeded. I think the PSP was pretty successful, but the PS Vita wasn't as successful. And Nintendo cooks at handheld consoles. They're the king of that. I just don't see this working out.
But instead has its own compatibility layer that makes games designed for Windows run on a dedicated Xbox OS.
Limitless, connected digital entertainment.
Microsoft undoubtedly has the talent and resources to make this happen. Does it have the will and conviction to, though? Why would it pump time and cash into developing this when it already has Windows, the system that every PC game is built for by default?
That's facts.
It's not hard to believe that Helix will require you to manually switch between Windows and Xbox, the two halves bridged by Xbox full screen experience, and the PC version still cursed by all the rough edges of an OS, designed first and foremost for productivity and offices.
Yeah, how is that gonna work? Let's say you buy a game on Steam. Is it just gonna be exclusively the Steam version on your Xbox, or is it just gonna transfer like all the good, software that the Xbox uses to make the game look smoother? Because obviously, if you're on PC, we all know that playing on PC, you're gonna always have the rough version first. I wonder how that's gonna work. Someone in YouTube said, Francisco, you wanna react to these tease trailers of the new fan game of FNAF? It's incredible. React to the video after you watch the video of the console, please. I'm a fan. I'm your fan. You wanna react to a tease trailer of the new fan game of FNAF? It's incredible. I didn't even know they were making a new fan game of FNAF.
Maybe all those edges will be sanded down by the time Helix is a system we can buy. There's reason to be optimistic in that regard, as I do think Microsoft has been thinking ahead. Take a look at Game Pass, which now offers PC games at every one of its 3 tiers, instead of the old system of Xbox Game Pass versus PC Game Pass. There's no longer any chance of a Helix player subscribing to Xbox Game Pass and then being unable to play Age of Empires. But this poses wider questions about Helix's identity. When your Xbox is a PC, how do you approach playing a strategy game like Age of Empires? Will Helix ship with a mouse and keyboard by default? Will its controller feature trackpads akin to Steam's upcoming model? Will there be a software solution that automatically maps a PC game's inputs to the controller? Or will Xbox treat the PC side of Helix as something for elite enthusiasts, opening up the opportunity to sell a bunch of peripherals that are required to unlock the entire breadth of the machine's capabilities? It's hard not to be at least a little skeptical in the face of such questions. The biggest question, of course, is why anyone should buy Project Helix over a PC. What will it offer that a PC can't? Will it be a better price? A better user experience? Utilize a revolutionary new version of Game Pass? These are all questions Microsoft will want to have answers prepared for the moment it properly unveils the machine. Because whatever Helix is, it certainly won't be as customizable and freely upgradable as a PC, and it presumably won't be as straightforward as Sony's next generation PlayStation console.
That's what I'm saying. What is the benefit of buying this? Like, if you want something customizable, go with a PC. You can fucking make it to your will. And then if you want something that's going to be easy to use, you're going to be able to play all the new games, just go with the console, like a Sony PlayStation, the next one or whatever. To me, there's no benefit in buying this shit. I'm not going to lie. The only reason why I'll see people buying this is diehard Xbox fans. And listen, diehard Xbox fans always going to buy the next Xbox. That's just how they are. I mean, we've seen with this generation that just came out. Sony clearly, I think, won the war. And man, I think this is a desperate attempt at Xbox, bro. I think they're fucking dying. And at the end of the day, I don't think this is gonna help them recover. You're gonna be selling like a $1,200 console that nobody's gonna buy, bro. I mean, this is not gonna work out for them. Let me read chat. Boyo Bobby, I think Boyo Bobby just typed something. Hold up. Let's see. Boya Bobby said, "We will see what happens. I expect big things. I think the industry needs something new, and it's about time everything connects." I don't know. I don't think this is gonna work out, bro. It's just the price is gonna be too much. There's no point in getting this if you're gonna be a person who wants a straight at-home console. There's no benefit to me. Like, if it's gonna have to bridge a gap in terms of games, because let's think about it. Like, you take Resident Evil Requiem, right? Let's just say another Resident Evil comes out and it's for this. If you wanted to buy that shit on Steam, you're gonna get the Steam version, and what's gonna happen is it's not gonna run as smoothly as if you were to get the Xbox version or whatever. That's just how it is. Even right now with Resident Evil Requiem, people are complaining about like the cutscenes not rendering properly. I looked this shit up because I was having issues. I thought it was just me. It's not me. Just me. I think it's just like the way that they're gonna have to do this with having a decent price is gonna just... It's gonna be very difficult for them to pull it off. Is it possible? Yes. Let's see. Wavy also said... Wavy Mystical said... Wavy Mystical said that damn right. How people will be buying online. I'm betting money they're planning on dropping out of the consoles, shifting their focus solely on Game Pass and cloud gaming. Yeah, exactly. They're not making it anymore. Well, obviously, it definitely depends on the price. Yeah, for sure. Likewise, Wavy, going on in all the pass. The pass is, yeah, they're gonna basically be... This is like their attempt in trying to stand out, you know? They can't... They're... Unfortunately, I think Sony is kind of like the at-home golden standard for a console right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is their way of trying to completely do something different. This is going to make them stand out like a sore thumb. And are people going to like it? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Fast Bear Fan Anito said the new fan game of FNAF of the Fez... what? The devs is named Five Nights at Freddy's Requiem of the Forgotten. Watch the trailer. It's amazing. So excited for the game. He also said hi. All right, let's just finish up.
That leaves us with a final question. In the age of Project Helix, what is an Xbox? Last year, we were told it could be pretty much anything connected to the internet. This year, Arsha Sharma began her tenure as the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming by promising a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console. But her console, or at least the one she's inherited, is a PC. So, what is an Xbox? I guess an Xbox is whatever it wants to be, as long as that's not just a games console, that is. If this new era has you feeling nostalgic for the past, take a walk down memory lane with our video ranking the top 100 Xbox games.
So weird. We live in such a weird time of gaming where like every console I feel like is not losing its identity, because obviously there's a huge difference between like Nintendo and like Sony. But I just feel like out of Xbox and then like, I don't know, Xbox and PlayStation, I feel like the line was so thin that eventually people were just going to pick a side. And I think that's what happened. I think it's like, there's no longer like an identity with these games, in my opinion. You know, with everything becoming cross-platform and a lot of people just transitioning to those games because they're usually free to play. I think what we're seeing now, no cap, is just like the bridge is one being made. I don't know if all games will ever be cross-compatible, but bro, the major games are starting to be cross-compatible. Street Fighter's cross-compatible. Mortal Kombat is cross-compatible. You know, and then obviously you have your free games like 2XKO. You have Fortnite, obviously. It's like all these games are cross-compatible. So what's gonna happen is eventually, so people are just gonna pick a side. There's no longer like an identity with these games. Like back in the day, I even say the 360 era, there was a clear identity to these games, and you would be able to just... It's so like different. You know, playing an Xbox was so different than playing a PlayStation 3. An Xbox 360 was so different than playing a PlayStation 3. The library was completely different. No such thing as cross-compatible. You either had your PlayStation friends that you would play with, or some people had their Xbox group. It's so different. And don't even get me started on a fucking Nintendo. They always been doing their own thing, which they always stand out. But, you know, I just feel like the identity's lost. Besides like some major releases that are exclusives, which is like even that's starting to get bridged. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We're seeing a lot of fucking it's just like a completely different landscape.